That morning started like any other, except Sarah wasn't beside me. Usually, she left a small note on the table, "I love you," or "see you tonight." But that day, there was nothing. I tried calling her, thinking she might have rushed to work. No answer. Hours passed, and each time I dialed, my worry grew heavier. By noon, I called her office. One of her coworkers said Sarah had left early for an urgent personal errand. That phrase sat wrong with me. She hadn't mentioned anything about errands, and her phone being off only deepened my anxiety. I told myself maybe she needed space or forgot to charge her phone. Small lies to calm my heart. Evening came, and still no response. I paced the living room, staring at the silent phone, wondering what I'd done wrong. Every minute felt like an hour. I messaged her again, "Are you safe? Please answer." But all I got was silence. My chest tightened with every unanswered call. At 11 p.m. sharp, I finally heard the front door creak open. She stepped in, calm and unbothered, like she'd just come from a walk. My relief quickly turned to confusion. "Sarah, where have you been? I've been calling you all day," I said, my voice trembling. She glanced at me, her eyes half amused, and said with a smirk, "You know what?" That smirk, it wasn't playful. It was sharp, almost cold. I stared at her, speechless. "What's that supposed to mean?" I asked. She shrugged and went straight to the kitchen, ignoring me completely. I followed her, my voice rising. "Sarah, answer me. You disappeared for an entire day. Do you think this is a joke?" She sighed and said flatly, "You're overreacting, David. I needed time to think. Do I really have to report every move I make?" Her words cut deep. For months, she'd been distant, secretive phone calls, sudden plans, late nights. I tried to trust her, to believe she was just stressed. But her calmness that night told me otherwise. "Think about what?" I asked quietly. She avoided my eyes. "About us," she said finally. "About whether this marriage is even worth it anymore." The air went cold. I felt my heart stop. "So that's what this is?" I asked. "You vanish all day just to come home and talk about giving up?" She didn't answer. She just stared at the floor, tapping her fingers on the counter. "Maybe we rushed into things," she muttered. That night, I couldn't sleep. I watched her lie on her side of the bed, scrolling through her phone. Her screen glowed in the dark, but I didn't ask what she was doing. I was tired of guessing, tired of pretending everything was fine. The next morning, I made breakfast silently. She didn't touch it. "I'm meeting someone," she said, grabbing her purse. "Don't wait for me." Her tone was final, distant. I didn't ask who she was meeting. I already knew the answer I didn't want to hear. Out of quiet desperation, I followed her car later that morning. She stopped at a park and met a man near the fountain. I watched from a distance as she laughed, really laughed, in a way I hadn't seen in months. He reached for her hand, and she didn't pull away. In that moment, my heart broke completely. That evening, when she came home, I waited for her at the dining table. My hands were steady now, not trembling. "Sarah," I said, "I saw you at the park." Her face froze, eyes widening. "It's not what it looked like," she said quickly. "Please, just listen." I shook my head. "I've done enough listening, Sarah. Enough waiting, enough forgiving. You disappeared without a word, you lied to me, and now I've seen the truth myself." She started crying, saying it was just emotional confusion, that she never meant to hurt me. But the damage was done. I stood up, walked to the drawer, and took out the envelope I'd already prepared that afternoon. "Sarah," I said softly, placing it on the table, "this is our divorce notice. I'm not doing this out of anger. I'm doing it because I deserve peace." She looked at the papers, her face pale. "David, please, don't do this." "We can fix it," she said, her voice breaking. But I had no more energy left for fixing something that she'd already walked away from in her heart. "You made your choice when you smirked at me that night," I replied. As I walked out of the house, the same house where we once dreamed together, I felt strangely calm. The silence didn't hurt anymore, it healed. Some endings aren't punishments, they're just the truth finally spoken aloud. And for me, that truth was simple. Love can survive many things, but not betrayal and indifference. That night, I slept alone for the first time in years, but for the first time in months, I actually slept peacefully.